Hello, can everybody hear me? Okay. Yes.
I thought you were talking to the people in the fire base.
I let people in.
Martha, I thought you were talking about the people in the fire bay, if they could hear you or not.
Recording in progress.
I was too cold to wear my fire district shirt today. I had it on and I was cold, so I just went and put on a sweater.
Okay. Can we start the Zoom part too?
I started the Zoom. Chief, are you here?
I'm here.
Oh, okay, sorry. Is everybody here?
We all here?
Leon, are you here?
I'm here.
Okay, I don't see Leon.
Let's catch the chair. We all text him at once.
Okay, do you want me to text?
Yeah, would you try please? Welcome to Life with Zoom.
You know that we can't see you?
Oh, yeah. Chief, you're gonna have to hit the button on the side to view.
How's that?
Yes.
Now you can't see me because I'm in the dark. With my phone, I can put a light on it. I should have some jokes, right? And how it's supposed to work. I'm not good with that. Now we're enough time just making sure I know butcher people's names tonight and make a fool of the district because I messed up. The back of those heads nice.
Did you bring Haley to American Canyon?
Yeah.
You didn't hear her?
She's here at the fire station. Come on down for a lick. We'll turn her loose on the crowd. We'll all be here.
Rex, would it be faster to just call Leon?
I already sent him the link.
Oh, okay.
Did we call
No, he responded. I already sent him the link.
him? Okay.
I found it in my calendar. I don't know.
Yeah, I resent it again this morning.
Yeah. Very helpful that you put it in our calendars.
He came through this afternoon. So he had it. I apologize. We had just had a closed session, fire district board closed session, so we were all in someplace else, and now we have to come here to do this, and then after this is done, we're going to go back to that space. So it's feel like in space travel. A little bit, you know, so again, welcome to COVID. It's a photo by the chairperson.
I just spoke to Leon, he says it's working, so it should be.
I just submitted him. Okay, I'm gonna start the meeting now for recording.
Yes, okay.
Got it. Now it's working. All right, we got everybody here, all board members, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, I'll find this here. But, Chief Cahill, oh, he's in the swearing in ceremony. Okay. Oh, yeah, all members are present. We'll call it to order, American Canyon Fire District Protection District Board meeting for November 30th, 2021. We're now in open session. That's a preamble. I will condense it to members of the public wishing to participate. Look at the agenda on the web page and how to participate on the page. All right. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. We have the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll, please.
Board Member Alvarez?
Here.
Board Member Oro?
Here.
Board Member Washington?
Here.
Vice Chair Joseph?
Here.
And Chairman Garcia?
Here. Thank you. We have a report now, closed session confirmation reportable action. Mr. Rock?
Chair and board members, you convened in open session at 5:34 p.m. to address the matters agendized for closed session consideration. Now you concluded your closed session at 6:35 p.m. I will report by way of a written report upon return from closed session consistent with the provisions of Government Code Section 54-957.1. That would conclude the report unless there are questions.
Any questions for board members? Seeing none, hearing none. Thank you, Mr. Ross. We on our agenda, proclamations and presentations. It gives us great pleasure this evening as a board, very proud moment as well, to have the oath of office administered and badge pinning for firefighters. Members and Chief Cahill, would you take it away, please?
Thank you, Chairman Garcia and board members. I want to, first of all, introduce myself. My name is Mike Cahill. I'm Fire Chief here at American Canyon. I want to welcome you all, family, friends, American Canyon staff, and the folks that are watching in on Zoom. Thank you for participating tonight with us. Tonight's swearing in is the start of what we hope is a very long and prosperous career for these four firefighters. We're excited to have them here as part of our team, and we're looking forward to having them integrate into this, what I believe is a very amazing department here at the Recruitment. I'd like to, before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge Captain Kenny. Kenny here? So, is that a call? Well, that's appropriate, okay? So Captain Dee was the academy leader for those four firefighters before you tonight. And that's a big job, especially in a department our size, for him to lead this group. Couldn't have done it without the rest of the department supporting him, but I wanted to give him, acknowledgement tonight for everything he did. This is it's a major investment on the part of his time, and we're both Chief Bellier and I are really appreciative of the fact that he took this job on above and beyond his other duties here in the district to lead these four new members of our department through the academy. I guess I messed up already. I should have introduced Chief Bellier to the group too. So, excuse me, Assistant Chief Jeff Bellier, who has come to us recently. We're real fortunate to have him here with us at American Canyon. Looking forward again to having him have a major impact on this department in its future. I'm going to start off by introducing each one of the firefighters tonight, and we'll have a little bio. We're gonna bear with me. I'm gonna walk through that bio, and I don't do this for a living, so cut me some slack, please. I'd like to introduce Christina Brighton Beaker. Got it. Christina grew up in Mill Valley and has always had a huge love for animals. I think that's part of the reason why she's here in the companion. We can sometimes denote it as leading veterinary services here. She graduated from UC Davis with a bachelor's degree in animal science and a master's in animal biology. Christina moved to Brazil to teach English and live abroad for over a year. After returning to the States, a friend from American Canyon Fire, there's DJ, thank you, DJ Avalos, invited her to do a ride-along here at American Canyon. She loved it so much, she decided to change her career path from being a vet to being a firefighter medic. So guess what? We're pretty happy with that. She has since worked in various firefighter reserve program jobs. She's worked in the EMS world. She's served in Alicia, Fairfield, and Stinson Beach most recently. She's worked as an EMT for AMR in Napa, and Chief of Firefighter 1 through Solano Community College, Fire Academy program, and just recently got her paramedic license from the state of California. We are honored to have her here. Next person, Brad Biermann. Please step up, Brad. Brad was born and raised in California. He currently lives in Vacaville with his family. Has been passionate about joining the fire service since an early age when he was in high school and graduated from Vacaville High. Grandson goes to Vacaville. He wanted to pursue the goal of becoming a firefighter paramedic. He graduated from Solano Community College Firefighter 1 Academy in 2019. Is that correct? Okay. He worked for 2 years as an EMT and a firefighter, becoming most recently a paramedic, and worked in Solano County for medic ambulance for the last year before being hired here. So we welcome Pratt. The next firefighter is Davis Pratt. I think there's a story with this one, but I'll say it for a bit. Davis Pratt is a Napa resident who enjoys time with his family, traveling, mountain biking, hiking, and golfing. Davis's journey to the fire service began as an inspired explorer with Napa County Fire Department while still in high school. Along the way, Davis worked for Napa Fire Department as a station aide and as a reserve firefighter. He worked for American Medical Response as an EMT in Napa County and for Napa County Fire Department as a volunteer firefighter and engineer. He also did a stint with Cal Fire as a seasonal firefighter, and most recently has worked for Napa Valley College as a skills instructor for the EMS program. And comes to us from the Tiburon Fire, where he was a firefighter trainee for the last year. And the last firefighter I'd like to bring up is Kyle Murchison. Kyle joins American Canyon Fire Protection with a total of 13 years of fire experience. His career started in 2007 when he was guided towards fire EMS by a baby football coach. You thank him or her. And he was a local volunteer firefighter at that time. He enrolled in an EMT course through local community college, and after completing, decided to join Monterey Peninsula College's 2008 Firefighter 1 Academy. He volunteered at Shelter Cove Fire Department, which is a little further away than Monterey. Worked there for a couple of years, completed 4 seasons with Cal Fire and an engine crew, and worked 7 years, most recently in the industrial firefighting setting at a local refinery. In 2011, he obtained his associate's degree in fire technology from St. Louis Junior College. Cal grew up in rural Monterey County, has spent the last 8 years living in East Bay with his wife Emily. And they welcomed their first child, Mac, who's already been to the fire station, so. And it brightened their lives more than they could ever imagine. You don't know what you got coming here, buddy. So what I'd like to do is, oh, there's Emily and Mac. So I'd like to invite Chief Bellier and Mr. Ross up here, please. It's part of the. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, right about there, Bill. Let's stay happy in the picture. Can you come a little bit closer through? Yeah, very good. Perfect. Okay. I feel like I'm the guy behind the TV cameras at the news. Keith Bellier's got the badge, right? Mr. Ross, who was on council for the fire district and is the city attorney for the King, is going to do the swearing in the firefighters. Excuse me.
Thank you. Respected firefighters, would you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, please state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of California, against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties on which I am about to enter. Congratulations, firefighters.
Thank you, Bill. I was going to mention one thing. So this is the new, okay, and Bill and I are the old part of it. Okay. I'll pay for that later, I'm sure. So I'm going to start off with Christina. We'd like to invite her boyfriend, Devin. Come on up, Devin Porter. Be careful. We'll hold off on the regulatory copy until we can check to the mic. Thanks, Devin. Next, we have Biermann's mom, Lenny. Would you like to come up? Thank you.
Sure, my vision's not so good.
Next is Pratt with his wife, Jean. So now I'm gonna. not too far away from Station Street. There's a firefighter that's in now. And so I'm driving down the street, and she's like throwing ladders behind the station. Before I go, hey, no, I'm really hoping to talk to you. And she goes, oh, yeah. So I introduced myself, and I said, I'm really interested in seeing if we can recruit women into the fire service in American Canyon. Would you be interested in coming to work for us? And she goes, no. She goes, but my husband would be. So, thanks, Stephen.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's good. Look it up there.
Exactly.
Anyway, thank you, appreciate it. And finally, Kyle Richardson and his wife Emily, here she comes. You're not back behind. All right. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. I get all choked up when this stuff happens. I've been doing this for 50 years, okay? And when you see these folks starting out in their career, it's pretty cool for me to see that. So anyway, welcome them to our family. And all of you who are their family and their significant others at home, we're going to have to support them as they do this job. Thank you. And I'm thanking you in advance for that. And we want to all give them a big round of applause. Thank you.
Well, bravo from the board, remote as we are, but congratulations, welcome aboard. Very proud moment for all of us, for our new firefighters and their families. So we just, we're happy to have you on board with us. We're getting each of you, like,
The plan on that, I guess there was some problem going there. Sorry about that. I got a little carried away here at the fire station.
Yeah.
Right, thank you very much. We're going to move back into our board meeting, okay, and leave you folks to do a little bit of celebration there, and we hope you'll be back soon. But anyway, thank you all for being here, and we look forward to what the future holds for this board. Thank you.
Okay, I think we'll pause for a moment here while she gets back in the office. Wow, what a great moment. 4 new firefighters. Wow. Yeah, that's good to see we provide that opportunity. And we have some people new to the wealth of the profession join us. So I don't know a lot on their histories, but sure feels great to have them on.
I like the one where Christine had a career in, veterinarian, and the ride-along just switched her world around and made her choose a different path. So
Yeah.
She's probably right where she needs to be,
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. That's awesome. The pinning ceremonies always touch me.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Well, that's board member Washington. I might say something about recruitment strategy. Provide some ride-alongs.
There you go.
I'm just missing all the break time celebration. Usually have some good eats out there too. I'm sure they will. Well, see, Billy, one evening. Wow.
It was pretty neat to four new members to the American Canyon Fire Department family. That's a big step forward for us, and obviously we couldn't have done it without the support of the fire board doing that. But very good evening, very good evening.
Well, actually, I think we certainly our congratulations. Others, Chief Cahill, hear my comments, but it's just on behalf of the board, just the congratulations. A very proud moment for us and their families.
Absolutely.
And I think Board Member Washington mentioned something about ride-along was made up difference in staying as a veterinarian and joining the fire service. So think about that as your recruitment strategy.
Yes, definitely so.
Yeah, we're gonna take the fire engine around UC Davis next time we're getting ready.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, the next time we have to take it to Sacramento to get repaired, I will make a run through Davis, the
Yeah.
campus, and pick up a few folks.
Yeah, why not? It's just on the way. Excellent evening. All right, well, certainly congratulations, a lot to look forward to. I know we all look forward to meeting each of them individually and getting to know them better and find ways of welcoming them into the community. So the holiday tree lighting coming up on next Saturday, so we know that for families, so they're welcome to bring their families as well. Any of them live here in town or nearby? I'm assuming they do.
We've got, no one lives in town, but the Vacaville and Napa, they're close, they're close.
Yeah, good, very good. All right, why don't we continue with our board meeting this evening? See, next item would be public comment. Have we received any public comment?
No, Chairman, we have not received any public comment.
Thank you very much. We'll move on. Any agenda changes, board members? If not, I'll accept the motion for the consent calendar.
So moved.
I'm second.
Motion second, roll call, please.
Board Member Alvarez,
Yes.
Board Member Oro,
Yes.
Board Member Washington,
Yes.
Vice Chair Joseph,
Yes.
Chairman Garcia.
Yes. Thank you, board members. Public hearings are none this evening. We'll move on to our business item number 7, approve resolution 2021-25, approving the proposal to conduct a long-range master plan with AP Triton.
Chairman Garcia and board, I'm going to turn this over to Assistant Chief Bellier and let him make this presentation. So take it away.
I think it's timely for this. I just would comment on the front end of it that given the changes we have seen in American Canyon and those that are anticipated as well, I think it's timely to have you as a master plan for the service we provide. So please, Chief Bellier.
Yes, thank you, Chair Garcia, and members of the board, and thank you for allowing me to give this presentation. It's my first presentation to the fire board as a new member of American Canyon Fire Protection District, and I'm very excited about this potential for entering into an agreement with AP Triton for developing a long-range master plan for the fire district. As Chair Garcia mentioned just a moment ago, American Canyon, both the fire district, are going to be seeing significant changes here in the future and changes very rapidly. What I find and Chief Cahill finds so exciting about the long-range master plan is AP Triton, first of all, is a very well respected and very well-known company in the fire service, and especially in developing master plans. But this master plan really is going to help give us a clear road forward to address the growth and service challenges that we may experience here in the city and in the fire district. It's broken up into several different functions or sections, I should say. It also, part of that is the community outreach, meeting with our community stakeholders, elected officials, members within the organization, various community groups, start gauging what they expect, what their expectations are for fire and emergency service delivery in American Canyon. This proposal, this master plan will also develop a community risk assessment so we can look at what the vulnerabilities are to the community and how we can help to address those in the future. We'll also look at not only just fire, but also EMS, obviously technical rescue, and other challenges that could be presented to the service needs of our community in the future. One of the unique things about this master plan is traditionally a lot of fire agencies, a lot of departments, they use what's called the standards of coverage document to kind of help them develop what we refer to in the industry as a deployment model. In other words, fire station locations, number of firefighters on fire engines, and number of fire engines to handle the calls for service. This is actually going to be a top down. It's also going to look at the administrative side. As the organization grows, the number of firefighters grow, what do we need to do to help ensure that we have the administrative support to help make the fire department function? It looks at also our fire prevention side of the house, which is truly a very important side. It's the enforcement of fire codes. It's ensuring that our buildings are being built to fire codes, such as fire sprinklers and different things. This is a component of the master plan. They will also do a standards of coverage, which I just talked about earlier. So it will also look at our deployment model. It'll look at our facilities, make recommendations on locations for potential new fire stations, also look at our fleet and make recommendations and help to develop an apparatus replacement plan into the future. This master plan will also identify short-term, mid-term, and long-range goals and benchmarks for the fire district. So as the community grows, we are growing in a measured and financially responsible method to ensure that we're meeting the growing needs of our community. The other part of this master plan is it's purely coincidental, but we will have some potential cost savings above below the quoted value because the city of Napa is doing their own master plan, and it's actually going to start potentially at the same time as ours does if the board approves it. So we are going to be able to see some efficiencies and cost savings while they're going to be two separate and distinct plans. On-site visits by the consultants will be coordinated so that we're both Napa and American Canyon are seeing some efficiencies and costs for travel and other associated costs with the community outreach portion of it. So I know there's definitely a more in-depth document inside the board agenda. I just wanted to give you a kind of a high-level overview of the master plan, why both Chief Cahill and I feel that this is very important for the fire district and really is very good timing for this. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that the board may have regarding this long-range master plan proposal before you.
Well,
Leon,
you did.
I was just saying it. You read my lips. I was just, we know growth will occur in American Canyon, and really appreciate your perspective, understanding of it. But you know, looking through the document, I think there's certainly a very detailed process in getting to a better understanding, providing the quality of service that we all want to attain in American Canyon. But I know it also is, we're working with neighboring jurisdictions as well. So I think it's behooves us to also be checking into their master plans as well. You know, the service you provide is the fire service doesn't know boundaries, doesn't know city limits or county lines or even state lines for that matter. And more immediate to us is our neighbors, and we have a mutual aid response that certainly that we both value because when you know, when you get really into a crunch time there, you need all hands on deck. So certainly, and I think board member Joseph had a comment there, Vice Chair.
Yeah, I guess I need a little more condensing. I'm wondering what kinds of tangible outcomes are we going to get from this study? You know, clearly there's some discussion about identifying where our station should be, and even though we've acquired a site, it may not be the ideal site, so I can see some value having the consultants kind of do an analysis and say, you know, here's the optimal location, go find some land. But, you know, for example, the equipment replacement plan, unless I'm mistaken, we already have an equipment replacement schedule and setting aside fees. So tell me the actual tangible outcomes, not just a plan, but what kinds of outcomes can we get for the money we're spending? And how does that benefit us more directly?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the parallels you could draw is the master plan for the fire district be somewhat of the equivalent of a general plan for the city. It helps to measure some of our growth and how we're going to grow with it. So they'll go back, they'll take over 10 years of our existing data, take populations, take the input from the city's general plan, and then they'll start to make projections that with the general plan, with the growth of the city, there's going to be X number of developments within so many years. Based on historical call volume, population densities, and so forth, you can expect that your call volume is going to be X once this is fully developed. In order to meet the call volume of population X, the recommendations based upon industry standards, both by the National Fire Protection Association and the Centers for Professional Excellence, our recommendation is that you have X number of firefighters on duty. And to get X number of firefighters on duty, there are some potential funding sources that you could use to help achieve that. We could help you give a benchmark of how we are going, American Canyon Fire will step into getting to the end result of, say, firefighters, number of firefighters X. We may need to have 3 staff companies as an example, 2 fire engines, a ladder truck. They'll look at our fleet and say, yes, the ladder truck that you have now meets your needs, but however, with future development, you may need to, our recommendation is you may need this certain type of specialized apparatus. Or on the fire prevention side, you're currently doing X number of building inspections, plan reviews, number of personnel hours for development. In order to keep pace with development, ensure that your plan check turnaround, your fee processing time is timely. The recommendation is you have X number of fire prevention staff on duty to assist that, and here are the benchmarks and potential funding sources to help achieve that end result.
Okay. So I get the value of identifying what our staffing needs might be, but I guess cynically speaking, it's easy to say we're going to need more help. The question really is, where is the revenue to come from? So will this study outline some funding sources and arguably do some analysis so that we can actually adopt some new fees to recover some of those costs?
Yes, that is part of it. And I think the important part of it is this master plan, and I probably didn't explain it well enough in my introduction, but this is a 10 to 15 year document, a document that's going to give value to the fire district as basically our roadmap forward for the next 10 to 15 years. So this is going to be a document that isn't going to be a 1 to 2 year document. This is a document that's going to give us a long vision for the future and a roadmap to help to achieve the end results.
Could I just offer a little bit, if you don't mind, Leon, through the chair to Mark. And Jeff, if I could share, the other thing that this is going to do for us, Mark, it's really going to do an assessment of our current staffing and what we do on a daily basis. And then take that and extrapolate that out to what, as the community grows based on the city's potential growth patterns or in the general plan, what our level of service is going to have to look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, and how to pay for that. And then the other piece is we're an all-risk organization. We do hazmat, we do EMS, we do rescue. And they're going to look at all that along with our staff, and they're going to question us about whether or not those are the kinds of things this community still needs us to do, or whether or not there's other things that need to be done. And they're going to also give us help in trying to bridge the technology pieces associated with what things look like in the future for us. One of the things when you talk about fees, we have a fee program. We have a vehicle replacement program well outlined in our existing strategic plan. Chief Bellier and I got a rude awakening a couple of weeks ago when we found out that the cost of a fire engine today versus what we were building into our fee structure. Back in the day when the fee structure was started, the cost of a fire engine was about $400,000, $450,000. We replaced our fleet. We did a lot of interesting stuff before I got here. Fact of the matter is the cost of a fire engine today is over $800,000, closer to $850,000. Our fees don't support that, okay? So we're looking, we're gonna look at this master plan and we're gonna do a deep dive into our existing programs, and it's gonna evaluate those against what we need to look like down the road into the next, the next 5 years, 10 years. So I'm frankly excited about the opportunity for someone who has the expertise that these folks do to take a look at our organization, because we don't have, frankly, Chief Bellier and I, as much as we have, 75 years in experience between the two of us, there's so much going on in the fire service right now in terms of what we should be doing and what we should look like, that we really feel this is a great opportunity for us to take a look at that.
Okay, thanks.
Director Oro.
Yeah, I'm surprised we're even questioning this great recommendation to actually pull this off. This is sorely needed. I've been on this board for 5 years, and we've been making piecemeal decisions without a master plan along the way. We're buying property in non-ideal locations. We're charging developer fees on one-offs in the Green Island Road district area and making stuff up along the way. We have a growing city that is going to need more services, and when you have an industrial area that's going to need more services. We have an aging James Road property that is a valuable piece of land, but maybe not that valuable to us. And I think I'm all for moving this forward. I think this is a low-cost investment to have a 10 to 15-year plan that will help move this fire district forward in a way that pauses to think about it from an outside perspective, not an insular perspective. And it frees up our fire chiefs to continue focusing on actually administrating the fire department. I think it's money well spent. I'm looking forward to having this being adopted.
Any other board comment? If not, we'll take public comment this time. Any public comment? No.
No, none.
Okay, we'll turn it to the board, but what is the board's desired action on this? I think it's supportable. I think it's essential. That's my personal opinion. Motion to approve.
If there is no other comments, I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number 2021-25, a resolution of the Board of Directors of the American Canyon Fire Protection District approving the proposal to conduct a long-range master plan.
I'll second it.
Motion second, roll call, please.
Board Member Alvadomos?
Yes.
Board Member Oro?
Yes.
Board Member Washington?
Yes.
Vice Chair Joseph?
Yes.
Chairman Garcia?
Yes. Thank you, board member. Thank you for presenting this item before us this evening. Looking at the details of the proposal, looks very good. I appreciate the comments this evening, moving forward on it. Moving on now to Fire Chief oral report.
Thank you, Chair Garcia. I've got just a couple of items I'd like to share with you. One is, and we kind of already spoke to it, the master plan, the fact that you've approved it, and we're going to be able to go ahead with that. That's great news for both Chief Bellier and I and for the department. And the issue I wanted to share with you, again, the issue with regards to our fee program, because we're woefully behind the power curve there, and I just wanted to make sure that the board understood that we're going to be coming back to you talking about fees once we get this all put together. So we need to get in front of the development community as best we can and address the fact that we're not keeping pace. We have COLAs associated with them, but we're not keeping pace with the actual market cost today. And we need to address that. So anyway, and they're going to help us do that with the master plan. So item number 2, I just wanted to give you an update on the ACERT program. CERT, I've been working with the CERT board with Mr. Ross and fire administration to get the CERT program a little more integrated into the fire department and not necessarily be operating as a standalone piece. I mean, it is a fire department unit, and so they've adopted or in the process of adopting new bylaws that address their representation and also the direct connection in terms of the training requirements associated that I've spoken to you in the past with regards to the fire district needs if they're going to be a part of the fire district program. So we're working on that. I feel real confident in the fact that the CERT program and the team members are definitely in support of what we're trying to do. So it looks good. Item 3, I want to share with you a little thing that it's not a little thing, it's a big thing, but it's an issue I want the board to be very much aware of. I got a phone call on Sunday from the chairperson / mayor. Said as he was coming out of church Sunday, he recognized the fact that there were a bunch of train car tankers parked behind the church, the Catholic church there. And he wanted to know if I knew about that. And I also got a call from the sheriff about the same thing. And I said, yes, I was aware of it, and I've been monitoring the storage of liquid petroleum gas tankers in American Canyon for the last couple of weeks. They started off with a string of them behind the Walmart area, and they were adjacent to the lodge at Napa Junction. And then they moved some more in this past week they're now down behind the vineyard crossing at Tapestry. I'm very concerned about this from the community safety standpoint. I've been down this path before. I think with the railroad, they're very difficult to deal with. They have almost total autonomy in terms of where they park things on their rail lines. I understand that they have a need to store their tank cars. I just don't want them to be in the residential areas of American Canyon. And so we're going to be working towards that end. I just wanted to give the board, and frankly, the community that's listening tonight, those who might be still listening, that this is an issue for us as a community. And we're going to work towards dealing with that. I know Chief Weeks, prior to my arrival here a couple of years ago, had a similar circumstance and worked with Mr. Ross and the city to try to bring some pressure on the railroad folks to move the cars. But we're back at it again. We're going to start having to do something along those lines. So anyway, just
the tanker cars, it says liquefied petroleum gas, non-odorized.
Right.
So if it's methane gas, you can't.
It's propane. It's a byproduct of gasoline production at the local refineries, and they frankly don't have. It's a byproduct that they can market. They just don't have a place to market it right yet, so they store it in local roads first.
It sets off alarm bells for me on safety issues. I mean, these are 50 feet from an apartment house.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the place to be storing those. So thank you for looking into that. We need to get on.
Yeah.
Please let us know whatever action we might need to take at a higher level.
Right.
This addressed.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I would echo all that. I know a few years back, Mr. Ross worked with them, and I would encourage you guys to work together to kind of do whatever you did last time that got them to move off, because that's just bad news. And it seems to happen every few years. So it's something we need to be vigilant about.
Okay. Anything further, Chief Cahill?
That was it. Thank you, Chair Garcia.
Well, I was just wondering, with the holidays coming up, we usually have this celebrity visitor from the North Pole attending things like Christmas tree lighting events and stuff. I'm assuming our distinguished guest will be back on next Saturday.
Yeah, it's happening.
Very good. I look forward to that.
Yeah, the fire
Might add
department.
ho, 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 but
Yeah.
yes.
The fire department's supporting the city, the community, introduction of that person, again, to folks. So yes.
Oh, thank you for that. Moving on to chair, board comments, committee reports. Anything to report? Chair, I'm just looking forward to our holiday that's coming up, and I know communities as well. Any future agenda item? Hearing none.
Just a reminder that we do not have a meeting in December unless we end up having to call a special
Yes.
meeting
Yeah.
because of the EMS thing.
Stand by for that if necessary, folks. Thank you. With that, we complete our work for the evening. We stand adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Good night.
Night.